Hong Kong Diploma of Secondary Education 2023. English Language Paper 3, Listening and Integrated Skills. Instructions to candidates. You should have on your desk a Part A question-answer book, a Part B1 data file with a Part B1 question-answer book inserted, and a Part B2 data file with a Part B2 question-answer book inserted. Do not open them until you are told to do so. I repeat, do not open the question-answer books or the data files until you are told to do so. Now write your candidate number in the space provided on page 1 of your Part A question-answer book. Now look at the Part A question-answer book. Check that the Part A question-answer book has no missing pages. Look for the words End of Part A. Now go on to Part B on the last page. Now stick your barcode labels in the spaces provided on pages 1, 3 and 5. Close your Part A question-answer book when you have finished. Now look at your Part B1 data file. Take out the inserted Part B1 question-answer book. Check that your Part B1 data file has no missing pages. Look for the words, "This is the last page of the Part B1 data file" on the last page. Now write your candidate number in the space provided on page 1 of your Part B1 question-answer book. Check that the Part B1 question-answer book has no missing pages. Look for the words End of Part B1 on the last page. Now stick your barcode label in the space provided on page 1. Close the Part B1 question-answer book when you have finished. Now look at your Part B2 data file. Take out the inserted Part B2 question-answer book. Check that the Part B2 data file has no missing pages. Look for the words, "This is the last page of the Part B2 data file" on the last page. Now write your candidate number in the space provided on page 1 of your Part B2 question-answer book. Now check that the Part B2 question-answer book has no missing pages. Look for the words End of Part B2 on the last page. Now stick your barcode labels in the spaces provided on pages 1 and 3. Close the Part B2 question-answer book when you have finished. You are reminded that all examination materials will be played once only. This paper is divided into 2 parts, Part A and Part B. For Part A, you should use a pencil to answer all questions. For Part B, you can use a pen or a pencil. Put up your hand now if you have any difficulties. It is not possible to handle complaints after you have taken the paper. The listening component is about to begin. Keep your earphones on until you are told to take them off. Open your Part A question-answer book at page 3. Part A is about to begin. Part A. Situation. You are listening to a YouTube channel called Extraordinary Hong Kong People, hosted by YouTuber sisters Monica and Candice Cheung. On their YouTube channel, they investigate Hong Kongers who have made an impact in the world in unusual ways. In Part A, you will have a total of 4 tasks to do. Follow the instructions in the question-answer book and in the recording to complete the tasks. You will find all the information you need in the question-answer book and the recording. You now have 2 minutes to familiarize yourself with tasks 1 to 4. Task 1. Candice and Monica are interviewing their first guest about her life story and career. Listen and write the information in the spaces below. The first one has been provided as an example. You now have 30 seconds to study the task. At the end of the task, you will have 1 minute to tidy up your answers.
Hello there, everyone in Cyberland. This is Candice.
And this is Monica.
And we are extraordinary Hong Kong people. And our extraordinary guest today is, drumroll please, our extraordinary mother.
Hello, Mom.
Mom.
Oh my, you two are really putting on a show. Hello to all your viewers.
Now, Mom, you have had an extraordinary career, but before we get to that, let's find out about your life. First of all, when did you come to Hong Kong?
I was born in Guangzhou, but I'm not saying when. And we moved to Hong Kong. Hell, when was that again? It was 3 years before they started work on Chek Lap Kok Airport.
Didn't they begin building the airport in 1991? So, 3 years before then?
Yes, 1988. That was a long time ago. I was a young girl. My father, your Grandpa Choi, moved us to East Point in Hong Kong.
East Point? So Grandpa Choi has always lived in East Point? That's a long time. I remember him giving us tours of the air traffic control tower when we were little. It was so exciting.
That's what I thought too when I was a girl. And that's when I fell in love with flying.
And yet you did not follow in Grandpa's footsteps and become an air traffic controller.
No, I wanted to fly. But I wasn't interested in planes or jets or airliners or anything like that. As far back as I can remember, I always wanted to be a helicopter pilot.
But why did you want to be a helicopter pilot specifically? What's the appeal?
The appeal? Well, gosh, let me see now. First of all, I love the noise helicopters make. It's so powerful. Whoop, 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 whoop.
Oh, Mom, really? The noise?
You betcha.
So what's the other thing?
Well, the other thing is being able to land anywhere. I still think it's amazing. Anywhere you need to land, you can.
But you're not just a regular helicopter pilot. You're a rescue helicopter pilot, which brings us to your extraordinary story, Candice.
How you and Dad met is very, very romantic. Please share this story with our followers.
Well, I rescued your father in my helicopter. He was the captain on one of those huge cargo ships. He was sailing a ship in the Lama Channel when he broke his ankle.
Oh, poor Dad. How did he break his ankle? Was it in a terrible storm?
Did the ship sink?
Oh, stop it, you two. You know perfectly well what happened. He fell down some stairs on the ship.
Poor Dad. It's so undramatic, falling down the stairs.
Yes, but if you fell down some stairs and broke your ankle, you wouldn't be laughing.
So, what happened after that?
So, did you meet him then, when you were flying him to the hospital?
Of course not. I only saw him then, but I didn't speak to him. I was flying the helicopter. Besides, that would be completely unprofessional.
I know. You're very professional, Mom.
Thank you for noticing. So, actually, it was about a year after I rescued him when I first spoke to him. You see, I joined a rock climbing club. Your father and I were in the same group of beginners.
So what happened? Did you rescue him again at the rock climbing club?
No, we were both good at rock climbing. What actually happened was when I told him I flew rescue helicopters, he told me about his accident, and we quickly put 2 and 2 together.
And we were the result.
More's the pity. Anyway, it wasn't love at first sight. He was so shy back then. It was a few months after joining the rock climbing club that I asked him out on a date. Then it was love. It was so funny because I asked him out when we were on top of a cliff. I'm not sure if he looked nervous because I asked him out or because we were on top of a cliff, but he said yes.
That is the end of task 1. You now have 1 minute to tidy up your answers. Task 2. Candice is chatting to Ranbir Singh about marble racing, a pastime gaining popularity in Hong Kong. Listen and fill in the missing information in the spaces below. One has been provided as an example. You now have 30 seconds to study the task. At the end of the task, you will have 1 minute to tidy up your answers.
Okay, everyone. Today we have Ranbir Singh, whose marble racing competitions on YouTube have become an internet sensation in Hong Kong with millions of views. Welcome, Ranbir. So why don't we start with what's what? What's the history? What's it all about?
Thank you, Candice. So, I'm sure your viewers know what marbles are, those little glass balls that children play with. Well, what your viewers may not know is that you can race marbles. Not only that, you can do all sorts of competitions. And that's what I've been doing for the last 4 years. But the story of marble racing actually begins more than 10 years ago with someone called Lars Jensen, who's from the Netherlands. Back in 2011, Lars started racing marbles by making all of these different marble racetracks. These racetracks were amazing, and he made all the tracks in his bedroom at home. After watching this, I'd recommend that you click on the links below and you'll see a video of Lars in his bedroom in 2011 with all of the tracks. It's pretty crowded. Then in 2013, Lars started making YouTube videos of marble racing. Those were really the first marble racing videos ever. Back in 2013, the races were very simple compared to the races we see on his YouTube channel nowadays. Very simple, but still fun to watch. In 2016, Lars founded the Marble Olympics. So to start the Olympics, he invited teams from 15 other countries to the Marble Olympics to take part in different events. So now he holds the Olympics every 2 years in a different city, and teams from other countries go to compete.
Can you tell us more about some of those events?
OK, so let's have a closer look at some of the main Olympic events. Now, if your viewers haven't seen these, you have to remember that the marbles take the place of humans. So, for instance, one of the most popular events is the relay race. Now, in a regular human relay race, one runner passes a baton to another runner. But in the Marble Olympics, imagine there are 2 marbles, who are the runners. The first marble rolls down a track until it hits a gate. That gate stops the first marble, but the force of the marble knocks the second marble forward, and the second marble now rolls. So it's the force of that first marble that's the important thing. Right, let's see. Another example. The high jump. As with the human high jump, a pole is placed at different heights. But instead of using leg power, marbles don't have legs, of course, the marble gets its jumping power from rolling down a slope. So the marble goes down the slope faster and faster and uses its speed, the speed it gets from going down the slope, to fly up and over the pole. So that's the high jump. My favourite of all the events is the outdoor marathon. So, an outdoor marathon for humans will have runners race through forests and mountains. In the marble version, the marbles roll down a course that has been cut into sand, usually on a beach. So the course is cut into sand, but there are obstacles like sticks and stones put at various places on the course. What I really love is when the marbles get stuck behind one of the obstacles. That's what makes it great viewing. It's brilliant to watch.
So, what's the future for marble racing?
Well, marble racing has become really popular across the world, especially during the pandemic. Next year, the Marble Olympics will be held for the first time in 5 years, and they'll be held in Tokyo, and I plan to take a Hong Kong team there. It'll be a historical moment for marble racing in Hong Kong. And beyond that, with all these international teams joining the Olympics, I'm sure you're going to see advances in marble technology. Countries will want their marbles to win, and I predict that marble technology will become much more advanced.
I used to worry about advanced robots taking over the world. Now I'm worried it will be the marbles instead.
That is the end of Task 2. You now have 1 minute to tidy up your answers. Task 3. Monica is hosting a discussion on a cat called Mr. Seuss, who has become a popular internet influencer. With Monica are Estella Weber, owner of the cat, and Max Hoy, chair of the Hong Kong Cat Shelter. Listen to the conversation and make notes in the note sheet below. Please note that you do not need to answer incomplete sentences. You now have 30 seconds to study the task. At the end of the task, you will have 1 minute to tidy up your answers.
Welcome, Estella, an internet sensation, Mr. Seuss.
Say hello, Mr. Seuss. Look, he's smiling. What's that, Mr. Seuss? He says he loves your show.
Thank you, Mr. Seuss, and welcome, Max, from the Hong Kong Cat Shelter.
Nice to meet you, Monica, Estella, Mr. Seuss.
Now, I have to say I don't think we've ever had as big a star as Mr. Seuss on our show, so this is a great honor. Just in case you don't know Mr. Seuss has 4.1 million followers on YouTube.
4.12 million as of yesterday, actually.
I stand corrected. Sorry, Mr. Seuss. Getting even more popular by the day. And he is considered more influential than the TV news, according to a recent survey.
That's right. More people watch Mr. Seuss than they watch the TV news every day. That survey was very recent too, only a few days ago.
Then I guess the big question is why? I mean, he's cute, but how come he's such a huge success?
Well, Mr. Seuss is famous for 3 things. First is that Mr. Seuss simply loves dressing up as superheroes. He's dressed up as Batman, Superman, Iron Man, all the superheroes.
I'm not sure Mr. Seuss loves dressing up as superheroes.
Yes, he does, actually.
And I suppose he dances too?
Don't be silly, as if Mr. Seuss would dance. He's far more talented than that. Mr. Seuss plays the piano. In fact, his piano-playing videos are the most popular ones. And the other thing that makes him an internet sensation is that Mr. Seuss gets gifts from all over the world.
So he's popular for getting gifts?
Well, no, it's not just getting the gifts. He's famous for opening the gifts. His viewers love to watch Mr. Seuss open the gifts that people send him. He got a cat-sized car last week. Did you see that one?
No, I think I missed it.
That's fascinating, Estella. But how do you train Mr. Seuss to do things for these videos? Aren't cats difficult to train?
There are 2 main methods I use to train my cat. The first method is to place food rewards at the place where I want him to go. When Mr. Seuss goes to that certain spot, I give him a little food treat.
Interesting. So, what's the other method?
I repeat the action I want Mr. Seuss to perform. But here's the important part. I keep each session short.
Just to check that our viewers got that, you repeat the action you want him to do, but only for a short period each time. Why only a short period?
Cats have a very short attention span. If you try to get them to repeat an action for too long, the cat will lose interest.
Now, Max, you've been studying this internet cat influencer phenomenon, and you've discovered that cat videos are much more popular than dog videos on YouTube. Why is that?
Well, our research has shown that people prefer watching cat videos for 2 reasons. The first is that cats have lives that are more mysterious than dogs.
That's so true. Mr. Seuss's life is a complete mystery to me. When I'm out of the flat, he gets up to all kinds of things. I'm so curious about what he does that I have cameras all over the house to record what he's doing when I'm not there. But even then, he disappears. He's a real man of mystery.
And the second is that cat behaviour is less predictable than dog behaviour. What cats do is more surprising because of this.
Oh gosh, yes. Dogs are so boringly predictable. I'm never surprised by what a dog does.
Now, Max, you have expressed concern about owners like Estella here who use their cats for monetary gain on the internet.
Yes, I'm not saying that what Estella is doing does not have benefits for cats. For instance, our research has shown internet cat influencers like Mr. Seuss create positive feelings in their viewers.
Mr. Seuss makes all his viewers feel positive. He's a very positive cat. Did your research also show that internet cats encourage people to adopt stray cats?
Yes, our research did show that adoption of stray cats is linked to internet cat influencers. This is definitely a good thing for stray cats, but we do have concerns.
Such as?
Our main concern is with cat owners who abandon their cat once their cat stops being popular or making money.
Oh, that's awful. I would never abandon Mr. Seuss. Even if he became unpopular, I would always keep him.
I'm trying to imagine what might make a cat unpopular. Maybe some offensive tweet about birds?
That's the end of task 3. You now have 1 minute to tidy up your answers. Task 4. Candice and Monica have made a short documentary about the development of emojis as the new language of the Internet. Listen to the conversation and answer the questions below. Please note that you do not need to answer incomplete sentences. You now have 30 seconds to study the task. At the end of the task, you will have 3 minutes to tidy up your answers.
The emoji. Where do they come from? What fun facts can we learn about them? Do they have a dark side? Let's ask an expert.
Hi there, this is Dr. Antoni Badura, and I'm a Professor of Computer Science at the University of Hong Kong and also a current member of the World Committee for Emojis. Let's begin with a bit of history. The idea of using a picture of a face to show emotions goes back a long way. But when do we find things like emojis inserted into writing? The first person to do this might be the famous Russian novelist Vladimir Nabokov. Back in the 1950s, Nabokov used brackets in his letters and correspondences to indicate to the reader that he was happy. I don't think anyone had used brackets to show happiness in everyday writing before then. But when we think of emojis as we use them today in online texting, there is one person who has arguably made the biggest contribution to the development of emojis, and that is Shigetaka Kurita. Back in the 90s, he was a designer for a mobile phone company, and while working there, he created the first set of emojis. Now, while other people claim to have used 1 or 2 emojis here or there, Kurita went much further and created a whole collection of emojis for use on mobile phones. This to me is the true beginning of emojis as we use them today. Presently, there is some debate about what is and what is not an emoji. Let me provide the latest definition that we experts in the industry subscribe to. An emoji is a picture that is used in texting to convey an emotion or an idea. So, when we say picture, we would mean something that is drawn, in which case a photograph cannot be an emoji. I'm not saying that this won't change in the future, but currently an emoji must be a drawn picture and not a photo. It is hard to understate how influential emojis are in our lives these days. Let's have a look at the most popular emoji in use around the world. I'm sure you've all used the emoji called face throwing a kiss. Well, here's a fun fact about this emoji. There are two groups of people who most use this emoji. One is teenagers who are flirting, and let's face it, emojis are a great way to flirt. And the other, somewhat surprisingly, is married couples. Apparently, married couples use this emoji not to flirt, but instead to show affection. Now, as I said in my introduction, I'm a member of the World Committee of Emojis. So what is this committee about? Well, it serves two functions. The first is to decide which emojis will be created. The emojis you find on your smartphones are not random or created by anyone who wants to make emojis. The committee decided which ones you should have. The second function of the committee is to standardize the codes for all emojis so that communication technologies will understand which emoji is being sent. Think about it. If the codes were not standardized and each communication technology used a different code, then people with Apple iPhones could not send emojis to people with Samsung Galaxies. Here is a good place to talk about the darker side of emojis. Alas, it is not all smiles and laughter in the land of our cartoon friends. Even though I am a member, this still does not mean I agree with everything the committee does. The first issue of concern is that the committee has too much control. That's one of the most common concerns people express. And as a result of the committee's control, we effectively have a limit on how people express themselves emotionally. Keep in mind that many emojis are a stand-in for the emotions we convey through body language and facial expressions when texting. And we should not limit this range of emotional expression. This feeds into my second concern, which is that they, the committee I mean, are all middle-aged and white. Despite its title, the World Committee of Emojis is not actually representative of the many cultures and communities that use the internet. The committee, no matter how well-intentioned, does not represent the vast diversity of people from different cultures and communities around the world. In my view, we cannot continue to have a committee that comprises entirely of a bunch of middle-aged, male, Western computer engineers. My third concern is that the work of the committee is not made public enough. It needs to open its doors and let the public see what it is doing. If it does not make its work more public, then this will lead to suspicion. We do not want people to become suspicious of the committee because they lack the opportunity to look at its work or think that the committee is somehow secretive and beyond scrutiny. Well, that's it from me. Hope you found my guide to the world of emojis an interesting one.
That is the end of Task 4 and of Part 3A. You now have 3 minutes to complete your answers to Task 4 and to tidy up all your other answers. Part B. Look at page 2 of your data file. Situation. You are Nico Lin. You work at the internet TV company Teen Net Chef TV that makes streaming TV shows in Hong Kong. You assist Mr. Archie Lee, the marketing manager for Teen Net Chef TV. You have been asked to complete some tasks. You will listen to a recording of an online staff meeting between the show producer, Miss Winnie Tang, the director of Teen Net Chef TV, Mr. Dante Cruz, and Archie Lee. Take notes under the appropriate headings. Before the recording is played, you will have 5 minutes to study the question-answer book and the data file to familiarize yourself with the situation and the tasks. Complete the tasks by following the instructions in the question-answer book and on the recording. You will find all the information you need in the question-answer book, the data file, and on the recording. As you listen, you can make notes on page 3 of the data file. You now have 5 minutes to familiarize yourself with the question-answer book and the data file. The recording is about to begin. Turn to page 3 of the data file.
Hi everyone, thanks for joining us today.
Hi, good to see you.
Hi, can you hear me? Sometimes this mic doesn't work.
Yeah, we can hear you, Archie.
Right, there's a lot to get through. Archie, can you take notes?
Okay, yep.
First, we need to have a chat about live, study, cook. And we will need to talk about what's going on with William Puddle.
Ah, yes. Things aren't going well with William, I hear.
I'm afraid not. Let's talk about live, study, cook first, though.
Sure.
First, the filming schedule. The big news is that we've got the money for 10 different episodes.
10 episodes? Great. I thought we could only have 8.
No, that's been changed to 10. We checked with the finance department.
And when will that start?
Well, we were hoping to start filming in July, but we all know that with the summer holidays, that's just not going to happen. So we've pushed it back until October.
October, good idea. It'll be much more comfortable then.
All right. And what about the food? Have you decided on what kind of food they should cook for the Live, Study, Cook competition for this series?
Okay, well, first we thought about breakfast foods, but they're probably too easy. So we're now going with main dishes.
Main dishes. Okay. So things you would have for lunch and dinner.
Right, yeah. Things like soup, chicken, roast vegetables. The other option, which I'm sure will be very popular, is desserts.
Desserts. Great.
Yes, cakes, ice cream, biscuits, anything sweet.
That sounds wonderful. All right, let's move on. All right, let's talk about this viral video with William Puddle then. Can you tell me what the problems were?
It's all here in this tabloid story. Flood in the kitchen.
A what?
A flood.
Really?
Yeah, I'm afraid so. A real flood. And there was some possible food safety issues, but we think it's all been a misunderstanding.
And this is our star chef, William. Oh, this is not good news. We've just signed off on a huge budget for his new show.
Oh, dear.
People are also saying he was very upset in the video, right?
He wasn't upset. He was chopping onions. That's why he was crying. The whole video was about cooking with onions.
And look, my name is right there at the bottom. Oh, this is embarrassing. This is not good. Not good at all.
Can I make a suggestion? I think all staff should be asked to go on a social media training course.
Okay. So what would that involve?
Well, we would need to find a course all about behaving properly online and saying things so that people don't misinterpret what you're saying.
So, how not to offend people, that kind of thing.
Exactly.
Right. Well, I could include that in my all-staff emails this week. But I think we need to sweeten the deal to keep everybody happy. Any ideas?
Overtime pay?
I'm afraid not. Too expensive.
How about an extra day of leave?
An extra day off work? Okay. But not for everyone. I know. A day off work, but only if they do 3 courses.
Yes, that's good. They have to do 3 courses, and only the first 10 people to complete all 3 can get an extra day off.
Great idea. Narrow it down to 10. Create a bit of competitive spirit. Anything else we need to discuss?
Yes, there were some issues at Golden Sun Tower. We need to do something about the little fire problem that we had the last time we used the private kitchen there.
The little fire problem.
Excuse me? A fire? Why am I only hearing about this now? First, a flood, and now a fire?
Well, you see, it wasn't really a fire. It was just a piece of burnt toast.
Our chefs burnt the toast? Well, that's embarrassing.
Oh, yes, it is. We've had a complaint from the owner of the private kitchen. They said that our staff didn't know what to do when they started the fire.
Well, that's not good.
I mean, as I said before, it wasn't a real fire.
Well then, I think our chefs will need to do some fire safety training, don't you?
Absolutely. We'll work out a schedule.
OK, fire safety training for chefs.
There's another problem regarding costs.
Go on.
The private kitchen wants money to cover their cost, as they can't serve diners when we're filming.
How much do they want?
$10,000.
$10,000? That's absurd. Absolutely not. 5,000. They can take it or leave it.
So, 5,000 for the private kitchen. I'll make a note of that.
Now, something a bit happier. I have some news about the new show. It's with William, but it will still be amazing. It's called Viewer's Choice.
What's so amazing about it?
Well, because it's interactive. Viewers can actually choose their own ingredients and decide what William cooks right there on the show. It'll be the first ever fully interactive online TV cooking show.
Interactive? How on earth will that work?
Oh, don't worry. We'll send you the details. There's a storyboard, and I've added some updates.
Is any of it recorded?
No, it's totally live, and it's going to change the face of TV cooking forever.
And it's live? But so many things could go wrong. We can't let William ruin his career again.
Ah, but think of how many things could go right. It's a guaranteed winner.
That is the end of the listening component of this paper. You will now have 1 hour and 15 minutes to complete the written tasks in either Part B1 or Part B2. An announcement will be made when time is up.